It is not fair that when you go to the doctor, you have to tell the doctor what happened. I'm hurt. Isn't that enough? Why do we have to get into the whole embarrassing backstory of how I was injured? Because sometimes it's going to be relevant. You know, if you go to the doctor, you're like, my back hurts. And he's like, what happened? I was shot. It's like, that's the information that we need to know. But in my case, it's like, look, can you just check if my nose is broken? It doesn't matter what happened. It won't change whether or not it's broken. I walked into a ceiling fan, all right? And I understand you're thinking to yourself how you're not tall. I was on a ladder, all right? I was on a ladder and I was trying to change the light because this place I was living at the time had these sconces. And the sconces were the ones that were built where the whole sconce is the screw. All right, so you just have to turn this forever. You just have to do this nonstop. There's no like little screws so you can grab a Phillips head. You have to turn this forever. So I turned it for what felt like forever. And then as soon as I take it off, I see the bulb. And the bulb is like a bulb I've never seen before. It's like this incandescent looking thing. This is the most Edison bulb I've ever seen in my life. So now I'm Googling on my phone where I can buy this bulb because you can't just get this at Walgreens. And so now I'm looking at my phone. Admittedly, yeah, I got distracted. I got on Instagram and I turned around, forgot I was on a ladder and went to walking. I went to walk off the ladder and I walked into a ceiling fan, which to be fair, when they are moving, are invisible. They are. If you got 3 clicks on a ceiling fan, it disappears. If I walked into a ceiling fan that was being still, that'd be very silly. That'd be very dumb. But this thing is, who can know? How can anybody tell? You might have a ceiling fan behind you right now. Don't judge me. And so I walked into it and it knocked me. And then, yeah, you know, I went to the doctor. The doctor was like, what happened? I was like, do we really need to, you know, I just wish once I could go to the doctor and the doctor's like the doctor from The Pit. And I walk in and I sit down. They're like, we got a ceiling fan right here. We got a ceiling fan. They just already know what happened and how to fix it. They help me with my personal life, too. Look, don't walk in any more ceiling fans, and you know, you should listen more. Oh, because admittedly, yeah, maybe the ceiling fan saved my life. I was walking off a ladder anyway. There was another time I had to go to the doctor, explain what happened. This one wasn't my fault. All right, I was walking on the ground. I was walking. It was nighttime, which is not the best time to do your walking, but I was walking, it was night, and I was visiting a city that didn't believe in street lights. All right, this is one of those cities where I don't know if it was not in the city planning budget, but they were like, 1 every mile should do it. And so I'm walking across the street, and it's pretty dark, and that's when I get hit. I get hit hard by someone on a bicycle that didn't have any lights on, right? And so from my perspective, though, you gotta stick with me here. All I know is it was dark and it hurt. Like, I can't give you any relevant information to what happened, all right? I was told later I got hit by someone on a bike, but at the time, all I heard was, huh, and then I got hit. I didn't know what had happened. Like, I didn't know if it was a ghost, like, something being dark and hurting you does sound like the devil. Maybe it was Satan. I have no idea, but I got hit hard, right? I heard, whoop, and then boom. And when you get hit in the dark, you don't know up or down, especially if you fly. Like if you get hit hard enough, even when you land, you don't know you've landed. And so, look, this is embarrassing, but okay. So I got hit. And I don't think I flew, but I definitely was off my feet for a second, right? And so then, because I didn't know what hit me, why I got hit, or where the ground was anymore, I just started screaming. And so I hit the ground, I started screaming, and I tried to run. But when you hit the ground like that, you don't know what the ground is. So I thought I was up against a wall, so I started running, but I wasn't going anywhere. Okay. So when I got hit and I landed sideways, right? So now I'm trying to run like this because I think I'm touching a wall, but I also may have been concussed, actually. I think. But I started running against the ground because I was like, I gotta get out of here. Oh, it was bad. But I will tell you, one of the worst times to go to the emergency room and have to explain an injury is when you were backyard wrestling. Back in the day, just with your friends, backyard wrestling. And, because you would watch wrestling and you want to do some of the moves. And I'll tell you right now, everybody's got their different metrics for rites of passage and coming of age, being a man. I'll tell you this right now. I made one up on my own. Since they're all made up, I threw one in there too. You're not really a man until you have been put through or put somebody else through a folding table, all right? There's nothing watching somebody go through a folding table is one of the most entertaining things America has come up with, all right? Forget all the art we do, all right? Sending people through folding tables is purely American. You won't even care about what's happening, but then somebody will go through a folding table and you'll be like, that was pretty cool, though. That was actually awesome. One of my friends had to go to the hospital because they were backyard wrestling and they got him in the position, grabbed his neck and he's over here pretending, what's gonna happen? He knows the table's right behind him. What's gonna happen? Oh no. And then they both jump up together and he gets thrown into the table, and this was a particularly strong table. This table didn't break at all. So this head landed on a table. This dude was hurt. I've never seen somebody land on a table so hard and have nothing happen. He slammed on the table so perfect and just stayed where he was. It looked like that one scene in John Wick where they threw him off the balcony and then he just hit the ground and then the camera stopped and you were like, he must be dead. This dude got thrown onto the table, stayed right there, and then in unison, everybody was like, "Oh!" You know what I mean? We didn't know what we were looking at. We were like, I mean, did y'all buy a real table? What did y'all do? They had to pause the wrestling match because we were all like, so his back must have fallen off, right? I've never seen somebody just be that still. And because it's backyard wrestling, everybody's too close. At least in a stadium. In a stadium, they could whisper things to each other and maybe the crowd doesn't hear. But we all at the backyard. And dude who threw him onto the table came over and he was like, "Are you okay?" And he went. Wait, don't make me laugh. Wait. Stop, wait. He was like, "Are you okay?" And then he went, Now you sit in the emergency room, doctor asks you what happened, you like, the table didn't break. Because going through it's very different than the chair. The chair was a mistake. That's a staple of wrestling that is spilled out into real world fights, and it is a bad idea. The chair, we gotta stop with the chair. The chair, throwing a chair is never exciting because it's too random. Because when you throw a chair, other people in the room are like, I'm not involved with this fight, and I might catch a chair. Throwing a chair is the only time that the audience wasn't having fun in Jerry Springer. Do you know what I mean? Like, people would be doing all sorts of stuff on Jerry Springer, and people would be fighting and everything. Everybody, yeah, Jerry. As soon as somebody threw a chair, people were, oh! Oh. No, the chair's too much. It makes a satisfying sound, you know, like when somebody gets hit with a chair, backyard wrestling, professional wrestling, whenever you hear that, that's, you're like, oh, he's winning now.